So it's Wednesday again already, guys. It's crazy how fast time goes by. Um, Coming with you wrapped up in my doggy blanket today. It's a little chilly in here. Um, and just kind of hi Aya, thanks for joining. Hey Ruru, thanks for joining. Little chilly in here today. Of course, look at I'm wearing short sleeves, right? Um, it's so crazy. I hate wearing too many clothes. So I sit here with my blanket, my daughter's blanket that she no longer wanted in her bedroom. So I was like, ooh. And then I have my dog here, my son's dog that I got him years and years and years ago for Valentine's Day that he just didn't want in his bedroom anymore. So hey Ruru, nice to see you too. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. So today we are going to. Oh, hi Annette. Thanks for joining. I always love to know that you're on the other side of the camera, Annette. It always makes me smile. Um, and I promise to try to send heat to you as much as possible with keeping it here as well. so, um, I yeah. So I'm gonna jump right in. Hey Tyler, thanks for joining. So I'm gonna jump right in. So I have, for those of you who have attended my lives in the past, you may or may not remember. So let me start with that. Hey Dee, thanks for joining. Let me start with recapping um, just briefly. So for those of you who may remember, and for those of you who might be new, I have been and still am a licensed therapist and have had my own practice since 2006 and have my master's degree, all that stuff. Been a life coach, personal, professional goals for a lot, probably over, I don't even know how many people at this point. So, um, part of coming online that I didn't recognize early on was a block for me was I'm not in my brick and mortar business. I don't share about myself. So, I mean, if someone asks me, do you have pets? Do you have kids? Oh, thanks for the key, Ellie. Thanks for joining too. In my brick and mortar, if someone asks me, about personal stuff, like it's very basic. I will answer them as long as it's not too personal. I've actually never had anybody ask me something that was too personal in my brick and mortar business. But however, like that relationship is all about the person that I'm working with, right? It's not about me at all. So I don't bring any of my personal story into my profession, right? It's always about my professional story, my experiences, things that I've been able to help people do, experiences, successes, maybe other clients have seen, stuff like that. So I didn't even realize like that was holding me back a lot in the very beginning of when I was building out my online business was I wasn't really sharing anything about myself, right? And in order to build up trust with people and for people to really get to know you, like, I mean, you kind of have to share parts about yourself, right? So it took me a while to recognize that. And I have set a goal for myself that I am going to change that and I'm going to improve on sharing parts of my personal life, right? And I mean, there's not too many things that are, off topic that I wouldn't be willing to talk about, right? So, one of the things that held me back too in the beginning of starting my social media presence was I thought like, well, what if my clients see me sharing like personal things, right? So I did identify that early on, but I didn't identify how much it was holding me back from really connecting with people. So thankfully, that's all gone out the window, right? I mean, if someone that I have worked with in my brick and mortar business, if I'm currently working with them or I've previously worked with them, they come across my online presence and they find out stuff about me. I mean, nothing shady. Like I'm not, I don't have like any sort of history that, oh, hey, Mark, thanks for joining. I don't have any sort of history that I'm like shameful of, right? So it's not like there's like this deep, dark secret that, whatever, so, but yesterday, so here is advice. Here is how a mindset coach practices what she teaches. So let me share with you what happened to me yesterday. So, and I think it's relevant because today's topic is finishing this year strong, right? We have 10 days left of 2022. Now, I'm not one for setting like New Year's resolutions or anything like that, right? Um, for me, it's just too much pressure to have too many goals, right? So I stick to daily goals and I work on my daily goals. And then if I need to reevaluate why I didn't meet my daily goals, I reevaluate that. I move on tomorrow, work on my daily goals, right? So, but with the theme of finishing 2022 strong, um, I have been going strong and unfaltering, tiny little like, why am I doing this kind of thing? But very quickly passing glimpse, right? So I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say like I haven't had any self doubt, because that would be lying, right? But I haven't had any self doubt that has planted itself and grown since July, right? I've been on a really good path, right? Moments, but not growth where it just completely derailed me. Yesterday, however, was the first day since July that I was completely derailed from believing in myself, believing in my approach to online business, believing in can I be successful, believing in am I going to, get people in my world who are going to, you know, subscribe to my offers? Am I going to get people into my world that want to build an online business, that, purchase what I'm promoting, like all of those things, right? Am I going to get people in my world that give a shit about what I'm saying, right? All of those things were in my head yesterday, and it's because I was spending too much time. I had spent too much. I had gotten really excited about something, and I spent too much time focusing on the outcome I wanted to achieve, right? So first of all, I lost my own advice, right? I veered from the path and I was focusing on the outcome that I have no control over, right? I only have control over what I do, the tasks I complete, the steps I take every day. Hey, Spike, thanks for joining. Um, I only have control over that, right? Ultimately, those steps I take every day are working towards my long-term goal, right? But that doesn't mean that goal is going to be achieved. So, back second, stepping a little bit about what happened yesterday as well is, hi Taylor, thanks for joining, and oh my God, thanks for all the fire. I love it. Um, I had 10 years ago, I set a goal for myself. I left my marriage, two young kids, 7 and 2 at the time. And we were together we're still married, but it's complicated. But um, we were together from 16 and 19, right? So 10 years ago, I left. I was in a great place. I think I jammed on about this a little bit last Wednesday. And at the time, I had a 3-year plan, rock solid 3-year plan. However, my end goal of that 3-year plan was not in my control. It was subjective to everything that I had in place at the time that I moved out, July of 2012, right? Um, everything working and everything that was in place continuing. That wasn't the case. October of that year, out of my control, the state of Massachusetts realized how much money they were paying me, as well as many other people, for doing legitimate work, right? It wasn't fraud or anything like that. Like, it was legitimate work. But all of the units that they were paying us for, because at the time I was a in-home behavior therapist, right? And I had a team that I managed. I had a team that I taught. I had a team that went into homes with me and taught behavior modification, taught parenting, all that stuff. I was making a lot of money, working not a lot. So state of Massachusetts comes in, they take away literally all of it. So now, instead of making really great money, you guys may or may not believe me when I tell you, but I was making $100 an hour, right? 10 years ago. So I was able to be the mom I wanted to be because I could work well. My daughter was at school and my son was at daycare, right? He was at getting ready for preschool. So I could work. I could be home at night for them. I could put them to bed. I could be there on the weekends. I could be there. I could stay home when they were sick, right? I full control. I wasn't an employee. I was a contractor making great money. 3-year plan. What is it? July, August, September, October. 3 months after I set out starting my 10-year plan, it was ripped away from me. All of my income was ripped away from me. Had to start over. So that's happened now 3 times that I've had a 3-year plan. Thanks for the cup of coffee. So something major, I'll spare you all the details. I'm not ready to share them yet, but something major happened recently that is going to rock my stability. And as a result of staying focused on what my why is all of this time, and for the past 18 years, my daughter will be 18 in February. So my number one drive is about being the best mom that I can possibly be because of the shit circumstances I came from when I came into this world. And so yesterday I woke up with a lot of doubt about, can this online business work for me? Sorry, my nose is itchy. Are people going to come into my world that care about what I have to say? Are people going to stay in my world that care about what I have to say? Again, are people going to pay to be in my world to care about what I have to say, to care about their own goals and what I can do to help them achieve them, right? I don't have, and in this, I don't mean this in an arrogant way, I don't have doubts in my ability to help other people. I've been doing it for over 20 years. I know when someone's not a good fit to work with me, and I have no problem ending that relationship, but I know what I bring to the table and I know what I can do for people. I know the impact that I have on people. So it's not self-doubt in that sense, which might seem weird for you guys, but it was just self-doubt in the online space for me. Hey, Jill, thanks for joining. It was self-doubt in the online space of, are people going to continue to come into my world, right? And pay me for my services. Ultimately, that's the goal, right? So again, in the past couple weeks, some things are happening. I eventually will share them, that are leaving me feeling really fragile, so to speak. And so I practiced yesterday what I preach. I sat with all the seeds of self-doubt. Hey, Beverly, thanks for joining. I pretty much stayed off of social media. I self-reflected. I figured out where everything was coming from and what was contributing to it and what the bigger picture looks like, right? That really was why was the pain being amplified? What contributed to that pain? And what was I going to do about it? So I had a few private clients yesterday, met with them. And then I left the house and went and just did some things. Nothing extravagant, but I threw on Mel Robbins on my playlist on my phone. I took some scenic scenic ways to get to the different places that I needed to go to. Finishing up some last minute Christmas shopping for my kids, some things I needed to get. And then yesterday I had plans. My best friend and I had planned dinner plans, which we always do for Christmas, and we exchange gifts. And I was looking forward to that. So started. So I got home from my errands, and I'm in between. So I had logged on to Demi and Thaddeus's live, listened to them for a little while. Got home and popped on to Facebook, and I see my name being mentioned in a bunch of things tied into Group Juice. And I was like, what the heck happened today? Like, was there like some huge announcement that I had no idea about? Like, I had no idea what was taking place. So I popped back on the live that I wasn't able to attend because I was meeting with private clients. And sure enough, um, one of my coaches, Flip Moss, he, the founder of Group Juice, him and Nate Ryan, um, he shouted me out on their Group Juice call. And that was a huge, like, seeing all those comments from all the amazing people that are in the Group Juice community, um, as well as looking on FUD and seeing how many followers I have and how many people um, were signed up to, catch this live today. That like started to shift those self-doubt seeds. And my kids came home. I gave my daughter and her boyfriend their Christmas present because I'm not going to see them together until after Christmas. Gave her boyfriend his Christmas present from my son and I, which was bowling shoes because he comes bowling with us every Sunday. So that made me feel really good to watch their excitement. And I bought him oh, thanks for the heart, Ellie. I bought my daughter's boyfriend a stocking for on the fireplace. So now her best friend and her boyfriend have a stocking with us. And he was super excited about that. Had to take a picture and post it on his social media. And then I went and picked up my best friend and we had dinner together. And she knows what's going on recently. And, she reminded me of my why. And the reason why I haven't achieved any of my 3-year plan goals, right? With the exception of the state coming in and changing that program. But she's like, you could have done what a lot of moms have had to do and have chosen to do. And that is put their career or their kids as much as I've been with my kids, doing as much with my kids as much as I've done with my kids. And she's like, you're right where you need to be. Your daughter's in high school. She is a high honor student. She is already signed up for college. She has her job. She's saving money for college. She's a great human being. Um, my son, the same thing. He's 12, going on 13. He's an amazing, caring child. And, she's like, you could have gone out and you could have worked 5 nights a week and you could have worked weekends and you could have made $200,000-$300,000 a year, but you wouldn't have been the mom you wanted to be. So you have sacrificed achieving your goals for the past 7 years to be the mom you wanted to be. And she's right. And as much as I hate the spot that I'm in now, and the stuff that's taken place that I will share probably after the holidays, she's right. So finishing the year strong is sharing that with you guys. I felt it was important to share that with you guys. So that is sticking to my goals of sharing more of my story in with my presence as a mindset coach, as a professional and all that stuff. So, and showing you how I do follow the advice and the techniques and the strategies that I offer people that come into my world. Um, do I follow them perfectly? No, I don't, because I still haven't achieved my weight loss goals that I've had for 20 years. But obviously, it doesn't bother me enough for me to achieve it, right? I mean, isn't that what they say in online space? Like, um, if it's not painful enough, you're not going to want to get out of it, right? So, I think too, thinking about the weight loss stuff, what freaks me out is um, the skin, right? Honestly, I've seen so many, and of course, this is not an excuse, right? It's not an excuse, but it's just another seed that has gotten into my brain since I've been watching like certain people on TikTok and online, like do their like weight loss journey, and then they have to have like skin removal surgery. I'm like, fuck, I'm not gonna have money for skin removal surgery. I have a daughter who's going into college, and then in 5 years, my son's going into college. I can't spend like, I don't even know how much it costs, right? So that's the ridiculousness of it. So um, really want everyone to see how yesterday was certainly unexpected, right? Um, but I did something about it. I I did create content yesterday. Um, and I also came to another conclusion of another thing that is holding me back in my business. And that is, I have now been going live every week, most weeks, twice a week. I've only recently cut down to once a week because my schedule is getting busier with paid clients, right? So I'm sorry. It's, that is just the reality of it. I will not give up going live on a regular basis. There will always be room for at least once a week. Um, but I forgot what I was going to say. What was I saying? I'm distracted because there's somebody in the driveway talking and I don't know who it is. Um, I don't know what I was saying. Somebody remind me. What was I saying? Where was I going? Um, I don't usually scroll off like that. That's weird. But I'm really curious as to who's in the driveway talking because there's nobody else home but me. Um, oh, shit balls. Oh, all right. I remember. So I also discovered yesterday that there's something else that's part of my business that's important for my business. Part of getting my thank you for all the question marks, Ellie. Yeah, clearly you have no idea what I was going to say because you don't have inside of my brain, right? Good Lord. Um, so another part of having an online business, right, is I do have a YouTube channel, and I have a decent amount of subscribers on there. Not anywhere near, hopefully, where it will go, right? But so I've been going live twice a week for a long time, right? Thanks for the fire, Ellie. Um, and with the intent of editing those videos and putting them on YouTube. And you know what? Even though I have a really ridiculously easy editing software that I've paid for and I'm an affiliate for, I don't like doing it. I don't like editing. I don't like spending the time doing it. I like doing this. And anything more than creating content or going live, I don't like to do it. I don't. I don't want to do it. I don't like doing it. So I contacted someone and asked them if they could edit my videos for me. And naively thinking that it would be really easy for them to do, right? Like, you're an editor. I had to tell them where in the video I wanted cut out. I'm like, well, if I have to freaking go and do all that stuff, I might as well just do it myself, right? So I'm like, shit, back to square one. So yesterday, I decided that And I confirmed it with myself this morning after having my conference with myself, that I'm not editing the videos. I am just going to start uploading 3 videos a week the way they are onto YouTube. And if people don't want to watch them, they don't have to. If people don't like them, they don't have to. If people want to watch them, yay, I'm excited for it. If people like them, yay, I'm even more excited for it. So I'm not going to not try to build my YouTube channel for the fact that I feel like they should be polished and better edited. Yeah, that's not going to happen. So I don't like doing it. I don't want to do it, and I'm clearly I'm not going to do it because I have, from September till now, I have all those videos that are just sitting in my recorded thing, and I haven't done a damn thing with them. Oh no, I did edit one, but now I can't figure out how to upload it to YouTube because I haven't done it for so long. I'm like, shit. Now I don't remember how to do it. So, biggest piece of advice, guys, right? Yes, Annette. That's right. And I reminded myself of, so for everyone on FUD, Annette on Facebook just put it out there, the authentic you. And yeah, it's just the way it's going to have to be. And, maybe someday if I become important, meaning like, you know, bigger, whatever. I don't, I don't care if that happens, right? I just want to be able to help people. I have my global goal of helping people, as many people as I can globally as possible. So, some people have said like, I should have a podcast. So that's what got me thinking. I was thinking about um, the the mastermind I did in August with Grape Juice in Virginia, their first ever mastermind. And of course, I wasn't going to miss it. And they had asked me to present. I, of course, said yes and had my presentation done in 15 minutes and asked them if I had needed to speak longer than an hour or if I needed to cut it down. And they're like, it's like 5 months away, Call. You have your presentation done. I'm like, yeah, oh yeah, I already know what I want to say. And they're like, you're just crazy, right? Because I just freaking love talking about mindset. And thanks, Taylor, for the fire. I love talking about mindset. I love talking about online business, and I love talking about how it intersects and how it holds you back, right? Love it, love it, love it, love it. So I got to thinking about some of the comments, and I was actually going through some of my um, testimonial, like in my phone, in my little folders. I have a folder that's testimonial, right, that I use for marketing. And I came across some of the testimonials from the mastermind. And one of them was, Colleen, you should have a podcast because I would listen to you on my commute. And I had forgot someone had said that. And I was like, oh my God. And, as I was driving around yesterday listening to Mel Robbins' podcast, right? So that got me thinking about my YouTube channel. And I'm like, you know what? A podcast, I think, maybe not. I don't really know. But in my mind, a podcast is just live and raw and you just do it, right? There's no editing. Maybe there is. I don't know. Maybe I'm naive, right? But like the podcast that I appreciate, it's just live and raw and it just goes, and it's not like super polished and like shit happens and things go wrong, whatever, right? So I was like, you know what? My YouTube channel can be podcast-ish, right? Why not? Um so that's what I'm going to do. So now I need to figure out how to upload videos to YouTube because I don't remember how to do it. Maybe I'll have to YouTube it and figure out how to do it because I can't figure out how to do it. So, because I haven't done it, my short videos go there a lot. But yeah. So I hope that that disaster, but greatly welcomed yesterday for me was helpful to a lot of you. Maybe some of you have found yourself in that same, mindset space or self-doubt space or whatever. But my biggest piece of advice to finish this year strong, which we have 10 more days, is, and I say pain, and I mean pain loosely, because it doesn't necessarily need to mean like, you know, someone deeply hurt you or whatever, but the pain that you're putting yourself through because of your self-doubt thoughts, or maybe it's something external that happened, right? That got you driving down that road. Um, the best thing that you can do is sit with that pain, embrace it, figure out where it's coming from. If you need to take out pen and paper, poster board, and draw it, draw lines to your thoughts, work it through, right? Because once you identify the source of the pain and where it's branching out and how it's affecting you and impacting you, that's when you can start shedding some of it. So all of my seeds of doubt are gone. Um, Many things contributed to that yesterday. And most importantly, I have not sacrificed anything with my kids since they've been born for money. And I am also extremely grateful. I have always had a place to live. Um, I've always been able to afford food. I've always been able to afford a car, gas for my car, clothes for my kids. We are healthy. I am healthy. They are healthy. So for my goals to not be met 10 years later because I didn't sacrifice being the mom that was important to me to be, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Um, so we have one more live next week, next Wednesday, 1 p.m. Before the end of the year comes. So have no idea what that day is going to bring. Have no idea what the next 6 days in between are going to bring. But I will be back here next Wednesday. Um, I hope today was helpful to everyone. Um, and I will continue to share me, share my triumphs, share my happy things, share my painful things, and everything in between, as well as weaving in strategies that I've used that I teach on how you can get there as well. So, yeah. So, if anyone doesn't subscribe to my YouTube channel, would love to have you over there. It's let me see. It's Colleen Duchamp. So I had to look at it to find out. Um, so yeah, it's at Colleen Duchamp. So it's pretty easy. So in building my personal brand, I've kept everything just my name, because that way, thanks, Stacy. All right, Ruru. Thanks again. Thanks again for being such a great cheerleader for me. Um, Everybody that has been part of the FUD community that follows me, and thanks, Stacy, that shows up to my lives and sends me messages, and how much these lives have helped them, and shifted things for them, and like, you don't always know, like, and when people don't work with you like one-on-one or in a group setting, like, I don't get to see the impact that it's having in people's lives. So um, two things happen when you tell me, right? I get to use that as testimonials to hopefully bring more people into my world, and get to use that for my marketing. I only do that when things are posted publicly. If you send me a personal message, I will use that, but I will block out your name just for your own privacy. But like, if someone puts it in a public group where other people can see it, then I'll just screenshot that whole thing and use it. But um, so yeah, so that is finishing 2022 strong. And so sharing myself is my, oh, thanks for subscribing. I appreciate that. So 2 goals that I have for myself is I will, this isn't one of my 2 goals. I will continue to share more of myself, share more of my journey, share more of my struggles, triumphs, all that stuff. But my 2 goals for myself, and these are things that I am not good at in person also. So I'm not good at it online. And thanks for the key, Ellie. I am what I would consider to be like an ambivert. So I have introvert tendencies, but I also have extrovert tendencies. Um, and that I call her my little inner bitch. So my little inner introvert that plants the seeds of nobody cares. Nobody cares what you have to say. Like all of those, which is very typical of someone who is an introvert to struggle with, right? So it's not like, weird or unusual. But also through my life experience, through friendships, through family, all that stuff, that little inner bitch has been fueled also. So I can recognize when it's my little introvert that's interfering, and when it's life experiences that are amplifying it. So I am really aware of that. So my 2 goals on top of a few others, and I don't really like to set goals, but my 2 daily goals is I will continue to build relationships with people on an individual basis, on a global basis, on a group basis, on a live basis, all that stuff. Because in person, I'm not very good at that. I'm not very good at small talk. I am never someone who would go up to a complete stranger and be like, "So what are you doing today?" Blah blah blah. Like, I'm not good at small talk. I don't like small talk. In my head, I'm like, shut the fuck up when people are doing small talk for the most part, right? Um, I am a deep person. I like deep connections. I like meaningful connections. So that is also something that's very difficult with me online, to just connect with people on a superficial level and not a deep level. But I also understand that not everyone is going to be a deep connection. So logically, I understand that. And logically, I know I need to do that. But personality wise, um, it's something I need to work on. Right. So um, those are my 2 goals: to increase my conversations that I have with people, even if it's just small talk. Right. Um, and to continue to reach out to a certain number of people every single day, whether it's checking up on someone that's in my world, or reaching out to someone who's, followed me on TikTok, or a new follower on FUD, or a new follower on Facebook, or a new follower on, well, I don't think I can reach out to subscribers on YouTube, but, so those are my 2 goals. Um, so hold me accountable, hold me accountable. Um, I will see you guys all next week. I will be back Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time next week. And we will jam on whatever happens to be in my brain that day. So we'll see what happens in the next 6 days. And thank you, everyone. Oh, thanks, Ellie. I appreciate that. Um, I will definitely be figuring out how to get all my lives up there, and I'm going to be pushing 3 a week up there. Um, so we'll see where it goes, right? We'll see where my global reach goes. Who knows? Maybe I'll be the next Mel Robbins, or Oprah, right? I love Oprah. She's like my spirit person. Um, so yeah, hope everyone has a great rest of their day. My son has a basketball game tonight. Super excited about that. Um, so we'll see. Thanks for hanging out with me, everyone. I really appreciate it. And again, thank you for letting me share my personal struggles that I had yesterday. And I hope it was helpful and you guys can find something out of it. So I appreciate it. Thank you, Annette. You have an amazing day too.